What's up, guys? I'm the Backseat GM, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft class. And although the NFL draft class is weak from a quarterback's perspective, I do think that there are some guys who could at least be some low-end starters at worst, or high-end backups at worst, I should say. And some guys who I think could be legit NFL quarterbacks if they can get everything figured out. So I'm not here to waste time. I'm here to get right into it. Just make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy NFL and NFL draft content. And let's get right into it with number 5. And at number 5, I have Tyler Shough, the 26-year-old quarterback from Louisville. And yes, I know that 26 is very scary, and that is why I have him at number 5. I think he, film-wise, I think he produced top 3 film out of this quarterback class. But at the end of the day, he is 26, and we have seen guys like Kurt Warner succeed. He came onto the Rams when he was 27, but then we've also seen the guys like Brandon Weeden, and ultimately, if you're an older college quarterback, you should be producing pretty elite NFL draft film anyway. So, looking at Tyler Shough, though, he's a 6'5 quarterback with the biggest hands in the class, I believe, out of all the quarterbacks, which is huge for him, at least all the quarterbacks at the combine, I believe. Along with that, he has a very good arm, and we saw that because he was the guy who consistently made NFL throws. It seemed like every game there were at least 2 to 3 deep bombs that just went for touchdowns, and he has good deep ball accuracy, all things considered, and good overall accuracy. One thing I really liked from Tyler Shough was that he was a surprisingly decent playmaker. He's not the most athletic guy in the world. He's not the most fast guy in the world either. But he was a guy who just was able to scramble around the pocket a little bit, buy some time for his wide receivers to get open, and then he'd often throw, like, I'm not gonna say Mahomey, because that would be like Chris Collinsworth.
He wanted to throw, that looked a little Mahomey.
But he definitely made some throws that were non-conventional, and we see that because his mechanics are pretty inconsistent at times, especially in the lower end, like under his waist. But I just think that his ability to be a playmaker is going to be a huge help in the modern day NFL. Now, besides mechanics, we do see a couple other issues with Tyler Shough. Again, he's going to be 26, and he has a pretty decent and extensive injury history, which is not something that you want. And then along with that, for someone who's going to be 26 years old as a rookie, he's 25 right now. But a guy who's going to be 26, he would like to see a little more consistency when it comes to anticipation and progressions. It's not something that he shows often enough. Now, again, I still really like Tyler Shough overall, but if he's able to clean up these minor things, I think he's a legit NFL starting quarterback. And at number 4, we have Jalen Milroe from Alabama. Now, Jalen Milroe is the most pure definition of a boom or bust prospect. Now, he has everything you want from a quarterback. He's not like the tallest guy. He's not 6'5", right? But everything else, he has a pretty nearly elite arm strength. He has a very quick release, and he is an elite runner. Like, this guy is legit. I would say if he enters the league and starts immediately, which he shouldn't, but if he starts immediately, I think he's already the best running quarterback over Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, and even Lamar Jackson. I think he is that elite of a just pure runner. He has so much good speed. He has such great change of direction. Just everything you want from a runner. And then along with that, he seems to be a really good leader. Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer has talked about his leadership, and there's been other sources from reporters that have said, yeah, this guy's a pure leader. He's what you want in the locker room. So combine the leadership, elite running ability, and the arm strength and release, and you have a guy who could become a top 5 NFL quarterback legitimately. But at the same time, he is the most inconsistent guy in the entire class. Bar none, out of every single position in the class, this guy is the most inconsistent. He makes some really solid deep ball passes with some solid accuracy, but a lot of the times his accuracy is just so far off from the receiver. It's not like it's slightly off, it is so far off at times. And then along with that, his mechanics are inconsistent, and there's just not enough consistency. Again, consistency is important, and he's not ready to start immediately. But again, put him on the bench, let him ride there for a year or two, and sit behind a decent quarterback on a team like the Rams if they keep Stafford, for example, or just somebody like that with an older quarterback. And I think he has potential to become that great quarterback. And at number 3, we have Jackson Dart. I almost had Jackson Dart at number 2 on my list, but ultimately I did go number 3 for him. And, you know, he's actually, which 21 isn't super young for a prospect, but in today's NFL, most of these guys are coming out at 22, 23, 24 even for these quarterbacks, which we saw from the guys like Jaden Daniels, Penix, and Bo Nix last year. And Jackson Dart's only 21, and he has a good amount of experience for being 21. But along with his youth, he shows a lot of things that you actually like to see from someone who's pretty young. For example, he has the natural arm strength and deep ball accuracy that you like to see. He shows a lot of NFL throws as well. Along with that, he's also a dual threat and a solid runner, and he's a guy who consistently showed abilities as a RPO or play action quarterback, and that is obviously something that is getting more and more involved in the NFL, especially these RPO type of plays from the shotgun instead of being right under center. So having that ability is really good. But again, just like every other quarterback in this class, Jackson Dart has his issues, and that would mainly be I would think his misfires. He does have some accuracy inconsistencies. Overall, it's pretty good. He has a really beautiful deep ball, great touch, but there are some misses accuracy-wise. And along with that, I think that he really needs to improve when he's moving on from his first read. Like when he's on his first read, he does an amazing job at getting the ball to that receiver. But then as soon as he doesn't get that first read, all of a sudden his overall, for example, PFF grade dropped to like a 60 something from a 90 something. And then along with that, and I think this is a pressure issue too, because Jackson Dart doesn't seem to handle pressure too well, which is the main reason he's not number 2 on my list. But I think that if he can improve his progressions and moving on to that second read quickly and making that nice pass, making sure his mechanics move along with it, I think that he will be a really good NFL quarterback. And at number 2, we have Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is a guy who, as of late, has been falling in mock drafts, and it's been taking a while, but it's finally here. And I don't want to hate on Shedeur, but he's been that second round grade for me consistently throughout all of his years of college. I actually really liked him at Jackson State before he started getting all the hype, but then I really didn't see any growth from his sophomore season to now his senior season. And it's something that I would really, you think you would like to see it from somebody who's now going to be 23 years old, but it's just something that you don't see enough. He still has the same hero ball issues, which I would say have even gotten worse over his time at Colorado, where he just hold on to the ball for way too long. And with the Colorado offensive line being as bad as it was, especially in 2023, you need to get a quarterback who can throw that ball away, or well, not throw the ball away, but throw the ball immediately, have a quick time to throw. And Shedeur Sanders was just not that. A lot of his sacks were his own fault, and including one against BYU, which cost him his team that game. And that was just very ugly time. But Shedeur Sanders also has some good things about him, obviously. He has a football background, which is huge. He has really good accuracy. I think his accuracy stats are inflated. They're like a 72 or 73%. And I think that's because of a lot of short passes and a lot of screens that Colorado threw last year. But overall, he has one of the best accuracy attributes in the class. And then along with that, I watched his All-22 film. And while game to game he showed some inconsistencies, I thought his All-22 film was overall better. He definitely had some times where he wouldn't see the open receiver down the field for a touchdown or for a deep play at least. But there were a lot of times where just the receivers didn't get open and the offensive line didn't do anything. And Shedeur was still able to kind of extend the play despite his average mobility and just try to create something. So he's not great where he's at, but I think he has the potential to be good if he can clean up that hero ball. And at number 1, we have Cam Ward. And Cam Ward does also have some hero ball issues similar to Shedeur, but not quite as bad in my opinion. And along with that, he does have some decision-making issues that come from that hero ball. He'll hold on to the ball, he'll escape the pocket, and he'll just kind of throw it up. And it ends up being a pick or a near pick or something like that. And then along with that, he does have 9-inch hands. And Joe Burrow also has 9-inch hands, but generally, if you have smaller hands, you have to be elite to be a good NFL quarterback. he is an elite playmaker, man. This guy, he stands so calm in the pocket, and then he flushes out of the pocket if nobody's open, and he will just scramble, keep calm, and find the receiver down the field. And I actually saw some times where it didn't look like he had anybody open, and he would just he would make a little shovel pass out to the running back or someone out in the flats, and it would be like, how did you see that? You're looking down the field, this guy is way over here, not even really in the corner of your eye, possibly even turned back to you if you're, moving around the pocket, and he still found it, which was huge, and actually really helped Miami. He was one of the main reasons why Miami was actually decent last year. And then along with that, he does have a really good arm and a really solid accuracy. So between all those, I think Cam Ward is a top guy. Is he worth the number 1 pick? That's a question that we will see on draft day. But I do think he is the best quarterback by far. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.